Welcome to Titans of Industry, a new potential series where we explore the ins and outs of our world's mega corporations, what they're like, how we got here, and if they're pedophiles. Wait, who added this part, you fucking cunts? Anyways, welcome to the first episode. Today we talk about something statistically 30% of you are holding in your hands right now as you're listening to my smooth
You're
voice. Food. God, dude. Food, okay? We're talking about the agriculture business, the big A, and no, not Hakim's big badunkadunk, known as his ass, ass. Okay, so we start our conversation today with antitrust laws. What are those? Well, antitrust laws are regulations that encourage competition by limiting the market power of any particular firm. This often involves ensuring that mergers and acquisitions don't overly concentrate market power or form monopolies, as well as breaking up firms that have become monopolies. In the modern American agriculture business, they've found a way pretty much to outdevelop the antiquated definition of what it means to fight monopolization and the buildup of cartels. Not only in the agriculture business, as most of you know, as non-reformist socialists, we see that this system will always find ways to either remove the reforms or loop around them. And the massive agriculture industry, which should be something that us as, let's say, humans that need, that thing called food, should agree on not defining as a profit-driven venture. But hey, let me not stop you from making money out of air at some point. So this story takes us to AgriStats. Yes, a very bad name. The leader in aggregated information analysis of the food market. These guys managed to utilize data mining and analysis to such an extent that they're overwritten how classic market of demand and supply operate by giving their subscribers, the world's largest food producers, access to every inch and millimeter of food pricing, distribution, and consumption. To simplify, it goes something like this. You pay these digital consultants money, and they give you exact information on how much every piece of meat is sold for in the entire market, how much your competitors are charging, how much you're charging per region, per demographic, and per product type. This information that could then be used to make food widely more available, because you could very much so use this sort of system for, a socialized economy and so on, is unfortunately, due to the nature of the current system, instead utilized to maximize, yes, kids, say it with me, maximize food pricing for the entire industry. These companies might be competitors, but they're competitors in the arguably single most can't do without industry on the planet. Food, because, well, a motherfucker's gotta eat. So, because a motherfucker's gotta eat, they can afford to all together raise prices without damaging each other's profit margins too much, if at all. And that's one of the few reasons why your shit is costing so much more than before. Everyone is fighting to charge as much as the highest charging producer in the market because there's no incentive to compete with lower prices when everyone is raising them. So you might be asking, but okay, if everything is more expensive, people are probably buying less. Well, yeah, exactly. Calorie consumption is down, but the profit margin is increasing. As crazy as it might sound, and I know it does, food companies, which are supposed to feed us, have managed to utilize algorithmic planning to find a way to make more money from us by feeding us less. The modern market incentivizes food producers to give us less food because less logistics and work for them, less labor hours, less unionizing efforts you have to deal with, less transportation and so on, for the same or higher income. If you'd like to learn more about this, I suggest checking out More Perfect Union that has done specific deep dives into all segments of the modern market manipulation issue when it comes to the agriculture business. But I'll take you on a more personal journey now, after you've learned that we have reached a point where, just to repeat myself, the food industry has managed to find a way to make more money by feeding us less. The food industry. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me take you on a more personal journey now. One of food barons, titans of feed, the real chub lords. And I know I know chubs mean like an erection, but like also chubby, right? That's what I'll do. I'll talk about chubs. Hakeem will take you on a journey through how we got to the current state of things, the wholesale privatization of what should amount to a human right. And JT will talk to you about the other end of this industry, the end point, literally, the stores you visit to get that sweet, sweet chicken tendy. Okay, so food baron, specifically one food baron of one of the largest, the food baron family of one of the largest agricultural corporations to ever exist, and one of the largest corporations to ever exist, period. The Cargill Macmillan family, who still privately run the Cargill Agricultural Conglomerate, are the fourth richest known family in the U.S. and have been involved in various controversies and scandals over the years. Around 100 family members own 88% of this mega conglomerate, with at least 21 of them being billionaires. Again, this is still a privately owned company that is not even publicly traded. If all of them had only 1 billion out of the 21, which is obviously hilarious, like absolutely hilarious, but still, they'd have more money than the entire yearly GDP of Bosnia and Herzegovina. Yes, 21 people. And in Boston, there's around 15 people, so that makes sense. I'm kidding. Anyways, there's
also 100 family members are involved in this. I don't think I have 100 family members. How big is this family?
It's a big family. A lot of chubs, a lot of porking, if you know what I mean. No, because the family, like the business started around the 1850s, 1860s, right?
Oh, okay.
So as it was developing, they became more and more powerful, and more family members kind of, they didn't want to lose out on their money, so they started taking up positions. And because it is a privately run company, usually what happens with companies that refuse to go public and that are still family run, it's very important for you to place family members in positions of power, because you probably can't trust them too much because everybody's in it for the money, but you can trust them a lot more than somebody else coming in and then trying to pretty much cool you out of your ownership, right? And only very recently did they even start having CEOs. I guess the Habsburg effect started catching up, and the expertise starts flowing out of the door when you're like, I don't know, the 10th generation of rich Nepo baby. But some of them, always respect your enemy to an extent. Some of them are really smart. I mean, you don't manage to upkeep this type of shit without a bit of intelligence and a lot of fucking evil in your soul. But anyways, we don't actually know too much about them because they're so secretive that learning about the inner workings of the family is almost impossible. And trust me, I tried. Even a former Cargill CEO said they want to draw the curtain down. A lot of rich people want to be on TV, want you to know who they are, and they own this and that. Not these people.
Thank you. Just to interrupt. This is what drives me nuts. I mean, it's good that we know that these rich people are freaks and they just want to, flaunt their wealth and everything. But why would you not just be like the Cargills? And enjoy your money in secret? Like you wouldn't have people with pitchforks coming after you. This is free advice from the Deprogram to billionaires.
Yeah, absolutely. Many of them are listening. Many people are saying this. I did not have sexual intercourse with that woman. Anyways, Cargill has obviously faced criticism and legal challenges related to labor practices, including allegations of exploitative working conditions and unfair treatment of employees, particularly in their meatpacking and agriculture operations. Recently, Brazil has been successfully leading and has successfully executed a charge against their use of contractors that employ, and I wish I was
You
kidding.
shouldn't have used the word. You shouldn't have used the word executed. You got me half chub right there.
I wish. But yeah, because they are using, and I wish I was kidding, child and slave labor in some of their farms, Cargill closes their eyes and make their money. Everyone is happy except for slaves, of course. The U.S. has blocked the legislation targeting the family in the U.S. itself because, of course, it would. Am I fucking mind blown? No, I'm not. In contrast to the oil and tobacco industries, the bad practices documented with Cargill are not inherent to the products Cargill sells and are in fact entirely avoidable, even in this to a point the capitalist system. For example, perhaps Cargill's largest negative impact on the natural world is its role in driving the destruction of the world's last remaining intact forests. They're one of the leaders, actually. While at the same time, there being more than 1 billion acres of previously degraded land where crops can be grown without further imperiling native ecosystems at no additional cost, by the way. But hey, why would they care? Because, logistics, heard there, more legislation, because most of those lands are usually in economically developed countries with some regulation. But if I was to detail their impact on every single crop harvesting procedure, would be here all day. So let's focus on one, and you can guess what they're probably doing with the others. In this case, cocoa. No, not the one you do on weekends, the one you give your grandma. Don't give your grandma cocaine, the chocolate one. Okay? So Cargill, grandma crazy, man. Grandma one of the pros, dude. Anyways, Cargill is one of the only 3 major companies, alongside Olam and Barry Callebaut, that together dominate over half of the global cocoa trade. This is like you know how much fucking chocolate is eaten. This is like talking money that Microsoft, when they sleep, they masturbate thinking about, okay? The essential raw material for chocolate production. A 2017 investigation by Mighty Earth revealed troubling practices concerning the sourcing of cocoa. Trace analysis showed that cocoa sourced from illegal operations within internationally protected forests was funneled through middlemen before being sold to so-called reputable traders like Cargill, who then distributed it to Europe and the United States, where it was transformed into chocolate products by leading confectionery companies with that
of course,
beautiful,
all fair trade
stamp, made in Switzerland stamp, all the mwah, 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 right?
Little green logo,
fantastic. The primary cocoa producing countries, Ghana and the Ivory Coast, have seen significant environmental degradation, with cocoa farming being a major driver of deforestation. Investigations indicated that Cargill was complicit in this environmental disaster by regularly purchasing cocoa sourced from illegally cleared protected forests and national parks. Remarkably, it is estimated that around 30% of cocoa sourced in the Ivory Coast came from within these protected areas. A distribution statistic revealed that in more than 20 national parks and protected areas in both countries, up to 90% of the land had been already converted to cocoa plantations. To do that, you need to tear everything down. You tear absolutely everything down. Just between 2001 and 2014, Ghana lost approximately 7,000 square kilometers of forest. Wrap your fucking hand around that, which equates to about 10% of its total tree cover, with a significant 250,000 acres of protected land being affected. As of 2015, an estimated 2.12 million children in West Africa were involved in cocoa harvesting, with 96% working in hazardous and very hazardous conditions. Cargill has faced criticism for its insufficient response that we mentioned before, that only Brazil had the actual balls, obviously, under Lula's governance, to actually sue them. Its insufficient response to child labor, pledging to reduce, and this is a quote from them, they didn't pledge to we will never use child labor again, and we will, I don't know, take 100 million out of the 100 billion that we make every year to create like private investigation units that actually check out who the contractors are and make sure that no slave labor is used, etc., etc. No, they didn't say that. They said, we are pledging to reduce the worst forms of child labor by 70%.
Of course.
They said we pledged that, there's not going to be whipping. It's 70%, but in the 30, there's going to be whipping. Like, how is that legal to even
That's
say?
so comically evil. Like, I'm a hardliner when it comes to child labor. Like, I've got a kid. She's 2 years old. And it's like, I can't even imagine, like, someone forcing someone, a little tiny person with those little soft, tiny little hands to work in these dangerous conditions. Like, slave labor, obviously, one of the worst possible things. But you do that to children? Please step up.
Some of
to
you
the
made
noose,
it extra
sir.
fucked up. Somehow you took the most fucked up thing and you made it extra fucked up.
Hello, dear listener. Editor JT here. This has been a little sneak peek of one of our monthly exclusive Patreon episodes. If you want to hear the rest, support the show, get episodes a week early, and lots of other benefits like access to our Discord, check out our Patreon at patreon.com/thedeprogram.